I still today don't know what happened.
Okay.
I don't know the truth, the lie. I don't want to ask. I don't want to know. It has nothing to do with me. That's their issue, and I don't want to insert my opinion on it. I have my ideas of everyone as individuals, and that's just it. But as far as business goes, Joe could be very much so correct. Rory and Mal could be very much so correct. And I don't want to play into the two. That's just their business.
Yeah, definitely. I don't like. Did you? This is funny because it was messed up that it happened, but did you in some way enjoy, not enjoy seeing a podcast end, but the dramatic flair of how this was going
Nah.
was like, and seeing something implode is very much a train wreck.
No, I didn't like it.
Hmm.
I didn't like it, and a big part of why I didn't like it is because I feel like Joe, even like going from the slaughterhouse situation, he's always had this outlook of like not being able to maintain certain relationships out of business with people that you deem to be close. And I was like, oh, damn, it's gonna look like another situation like that when it's the furthest thing from having to be the case. I just think I would have much rather it have been ended at that point instead of doing that extra episode and
Yeah.
giving the fans belief like, oh, they're gonna make this work, and then the very next episode is nothing.
So you talk about the clearing the air episode
Yeah.
where they like, you, this show is none of your business. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
like I could, me as a fan could have did without that episode.
That's an interesting episode to look back at. And I did a whole video breaking down the episode because
What did you get from that?
I got a lot from that. I looked like what I got from it is this can never be the same. That's what I got from it. And then the next episode was even crazier with Maul just like in his chair.
Yeah, like
yeah.
you knew it. I knew it as a watcher. I think they knew it.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like one of those things like a bad breakup. Just break up. Just break up. Let's not go through the motions of making us think dad is about to move back in the house and the kids are going to be fine. No, this is done. Let's get the divorce papers going and let's just go our both amicable ways.
And it was interesting because what was also happening was Joe was still doing episodes with Ish and Ice. So it was just like, yeah, I'm going to...
I mean, but what position do you put a person in when you still have overhead, you still have
Yeah.
things, you still have everything going on? You can't stop the show. You have to continue the show.
Yeah.
And you also have to now ask two other people who have nothing to do with this other shit going on to now take outside of their personal lives, personal jobs,
Yeah.
to come here just to hold you down. Like, yeah, like let's hurry up and figure this shit out so we can move to the next level.
That was entertaining. But you were only speaking to Joe at the time. Like, you wasn't speaking with all parties involved.
No, like I would still see Ice. I would still see Parks, and like we all have relationships outside of that. Ish is probably fairly new to me having day-to-day conversations with. But all of those guys, we all met around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always maintained strong friendships with them as well.
Nice.
Rory as well. Still speaking to Rory, everything and
Yeah.
cool, everything. So I just wanted to be out of any of that.
Yeah.
Especially just from moving from LA, not really knowing what was going on day to day. I had no right to have an opinion on anything because I didn't know.
Okay. Yeah, it's crazy because as you're doing that, there's fans, legions of fans having nothing but opinions. And most of the opinions were, Joe's a terrible person. He's an asshole. Yeah. And I think as time went on, you kind of saw both sides. Like, I saw both sides as a creator.
I don't even want to see both sides.
Yeah.
I want this to just end how it's going to end so that we can all move along. The fans, the viewers, the people who aren't fans, the friends, the business people. Everyone can move along and just get to the next level just like Maul and Rory did. They got their shit together. Doing their thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with Joe. Joe figured it out. He's reiterated the podcast in a way, whether you like this version or not, it's grown.
Yeah, definitely.
Like when people thought it was going to fail, and when people thought, oh, he's never going to be able to like climb from this, it's done better.
It got real dark for Joe after the Rory and Mal exit. Like, I remember he put the videos on Facebook, and I was like, because the views were like tanking. And I don't think people remember that, like how the darkest hour looked.
Yeah, I mean, but what do? You adjust.
Yeah.
You adjust, and get back on your shit, which is what they did. Salutes to him and Ian and everybody figuring out, all right, what do we do next?
Yeah.
And they figured out. And the one thing people cannot say is that it is not, it's sustained, but not just sustained, it grew.
It did grow, yeah.
And it grew to the point where now we can add more people in and also have these people be able to do other things outside of here and bring it back to the podcast. Like, I love this version of the podcast. I think this is what was needed. Not stern, but very stern-esque in the sense of you have multitude of people who can come in at any moment. There might be a day where there's only 4 people there. Might be a day where there's 6 people there. It might be a day with 7, 8 people there.
Yeah.
Might be much to some people, but for others, it might be the greatest shit on earth. It feels more like a reality show, and I'm not mad at that either.
Yeah. There's a negativity to reality shows, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I don't think there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And I think all the people up there are strong enough personalities to where we don't have to sit around and talk about current events. Our lives at this point is just way more interesting, and our interactions, to me, is way more entertaining than talking about P. Diddy and Cassie. Like,
I have to say, though, I was listening to the last pod, and I felt like you guys held back on the Drea situation and Jalen Green and the Steve Stout. Like, I felt like y'all didn't really deep dive on it. I was like, what is this?
what's the deep dive, Andrea?
The deep dive is talking about it to a deeper level, even interjecting sometimes. Melissa Ford, she's dated young men, right? She can speak to that
I don't
perspective.
know. I don't know if she has.
You know that she's...
No, I don't. I
You
really
know
don't.
she was with Reggie Bush and Drake? Like, come on.
Well, I mean, Reggie Bush and Drake is a... Okay, let's just say that, right? The reason why I don't have a deep dive on Drea is because, in all honesty, if I do a deep dive on Drea, then I have to now do a deep dive on every dude who does the same shit.
That's the conversation.
And I've had that conversation already on Patreon. I think Leonardo DiCaprio is one of those people that we never have a deep dive on because all he does is aim after young girls, right? But we still salute him. He's Leo. He's talented. He's amazing. Cool. He got the money.
No.
I don't want to do that. Like, let's just say, in a perfect world, yes, does it look nasty because her son is of the same age as the guy? Yeah, it looks nasty. But let's just say they're actually in love.
Yeah.
Let's just say she's not out for the bag.
Yeah.
Even though we assuming that she is. Who the fuck am I to sit here and critique that? But yet we watch Drake dates a bunch of young girls.
Yeah.
If that's what he wants to do, cool.
Yeah.
Or that could be an assumption. I don't know who the fuck Drake is dating.
Yeah.
It's not for me to sit here and go ahead and that's why I say I don't really even want to talk about current event shit.
I think that's just problematic because the current events is how casuals listen.
Cool.
And if you avoid that, like, why would I? There's not a shot. Why would I care about Ish and Emanny's sniper days unless they're talking about topics that I know of?
Yeah, but in an industry where you're never really trying to create for the casual because you know they're gonna come and go at any point, and you want to really you want to curate entertainment for your core fan base, the people that you know are gonna stick by you even when you're wrong. I don't give a fuck what the casual is thinking.
Okay. And that's where I feel like this version of the pod loses to the Rory and Mal version.
Because you think that we forget about the casual.
Yes. I feel like Rory and Mal felt like the cool kids in high school who they may have, like, they had a cool relationship with the nerds. They had a cool relationship with the geeky girls. They had a cool... Whereas you guys come off to me as... Those young cats over there, they ain't really on it. Fake fans... F them. We don't need them. Follow us on Patreon. That's where we giving it up. Rory and Mo don't feel like that.
Do you think the business is leading towards curating entertainment for the casual or curating entertainment for your core fan base?
Well, I think casuals become core, and if you kind of can become core, if you kind of forget about them, then that can lead to attrition.
I think anyone who's going to become a fan of something would have to remove their bias and see something for what it truly is.
Okay.
I think everyone up there speaks from a true place. I think everyone up there is trying to be their most honest self. And I think if you appreciate that, whether you like the opinion or not, you're going to become a supporter and a fan.
Yeah.
If you can't appreciate that, then I don't give a about whether or not you watch or listen. And I think that's what the business model is set up for at this point now. Like, you watch a lot of people try to create content in a casual way for everyone, and then they're not around anymore.
Yeah.
Because they want everyone to like them. Like, nah, we want people to like us because you like us,
Yeah,
and that's it.
I guess academic says there's like 100 fans that really rock with you by the Patreon is probably better than 1,000 fans that just click when the title suits whatever they need.
And as someone who's put out music in the past, I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
I would try to curate projects to cater to a certain sound and then realize, wait, y'all don't want to hear me do that. You want to hear me do this. And then the minute I go back to that, I can have a sold out show and be fine.
Yeah.
So, to me, the business model is 100%. Can you get people to support you even in the moments where they don't agree with you?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm reaching for.
I guess that's a good point because after the Rory and Mal breakup, what you saw was the casuals probably like Joe's an asshole. He's the worst person. And then there was the other people that were rocking with Joe, even if he drop kicks Rory in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a fan, and that's a fan base, and that's a cult following that once you get, you'll never lose. And if you can achieve that, you kind of think more about them than thinking about anybody else. I don't want nothing casual in my life at all, on no level. I don't want no one in this world to think that they can casually come in and out of. Yeah, no. Mm-mm.